Hi everyone, Andy here from Fit Body Strong Mind. Today I want to discuss the issue of motivation. It's a question I saw online a couple of times yesterday and it made me want to talk about it a little bit. And motivation's it's a very difficult one to talk about. When I talk about motivation, I'm talking specifically about people who are struggling to motivate themselves to exercise. They're struggling to motivate themselves to go to the gym, or struggling to motivate themselves to eat well. I'm going to look at the motivation for going to the gym or exercising, because I think that's where a lot of people have a real massive battle. And one of the reasons is that a lot of people are trying to do something and they're not really sure of two things. First of all, why they're doing it, and second of all, if they're doing the right thing. And I think that has a massive effect on motivation, because if you're not 100% sure that what you're doing is going to lead to the results that you want, it's very, very easy to give up on it. And the only way to combat that is by, well, two ways. First of all, by knowing exactly what it is you want to achieve. And second of all, making sure that you get enough quality information so that you know that the actions that you're taking are definitely, if you're consistent, going to lead you to what you want. And one of the issues I see with a lot of people is that they're relying so much on willpower. And willpower is very, very limited, and it's only available to us for a certain amount of time and for a certain amount of effort, really. And so if you've got a busy life, if you've got a hard job, if you've got relationship problems, or you've got kids and you're busy, yeah, it can be very, very hard if all you've got is willpower to try and motivate yourself to go to the gym 3 times a week, or to go running a couple of times a week, or to eat well. It really does become difficult if you're constantly using up your energy and your free will to make yourself do those things, particularly if you don't have that reason in the background and you're not clear on why you're doing these things. If you're just going to the gym because someone told you that's what you should do, or you think that's what people do when they want to get fit, it's not a big enough reason, it's not a big enough why to get you out of bed or off the couch or wherever you are in your area of comfort to step out into the zone of discomfort consistently. Yes, you can do it once or twice or 3 times, even for a couple of weeks. But so often we see people get right into fitness for a couple of weeks and then just tails off, it disappears. And that's because motivation alone is not enough. You can't just talk yourself into things all the time. So I would say that really the motivation problem comes down to three things. First of all, really know why you're doing what you're doing. Is it what you want? Not other people. Is it what you want? Is it something that you think is best for your life? Do you really think that going running every single day is best for you and your life, and it's what you really want? Or is it just because someone's trying to force you out the door, or you think that you should get in shape, so, oh, I better go running? There's a big discrepancy, there's a big difference there. So you need to work out what it is you truly want. In my experience, what most people want is to look good, feel good, and be healthy. We don't all want to be professional bodybuilders. We don't all want to be big and massive. And we don't all want to be skinny rakes. But we do want to be in better shape. We want to look good and we want to feel good. And we want to know that we're getting healthier. And it can be very, very simple to do that. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to be motivating yourself like a go-getter every single day. It doesn't have to be like that. Even working out a couple of times a week, one run per week, and making a couple of small changes to your dietary regime can make a huge difference. And over time, once you start building a few small habits, then you can start adding more and more things into your regime as time goes on, and it's becoming natural. But if you try and force yourself right from day one to make a complete overhaul of your lifestyle, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep that going. So you need to have your why. And the second thing you need to understand is, do you truly believe that what you're doing will lead to the results that you want? A lot of people, they start something, but in their heart they're not really sure that it's leading them the way they want. And when they look in the mirror, they don't really see the changes that they want to see quickly enough. So you have to be sure that you get the right information. Make sure you're working on the 80-20s of fitness. That's the 20% of actions which bring 80% of your results. There's a link below this video, you can click it to find out more about what those 80-20 actions are and how you can make sure you're implementing them, because they're the ones that will make the big difference. And if you're implementing those, you'll see results quickly, and then it's a lot easier for your motivation to stay high enough for you to eventually turn what you're doing into habits. And the third thing that's really, really important when it comes to motivation is you have to have a few mental tools up your sleeve. You have to have a few things that kind of override your brain, so that when your brain throws up all the reasons in the world for you not to do something, you have a tool that you can use which will make sure you do it, some kind of trigger. A very good example is the 5-second rule, the Mel Robbins 5-second rule, which I would really, really recommend watching her TED Talk. It's Mel Robbins, and it's a fantastic tool. It's basically all you do is you count backwards from 5 to 1 when you want to do something, but your mind's kind of throwing up excuses, and then you just do it. And it's amazing the way it works. It sounds so simple, it doesn't sound like it would work, but so many times I've applied it in my own life recently. I've been getting up at 4 in the morning to go to the gym, and as soon as I get up, I cannot be bothered and I want to go straight back to bed. Every day, every time. And I've been doing this for years and years, but I still want to go back to bed every time. But I apply the rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang, and then I just go and do it. And it's strange, it almost takes motivation out of it. You're almost accepting that you don't want to do it, but you're going to do it anyway. And it's really, really powerful. So that's the things I would say. If you're struggling to motivate yourself, first of all, realise that motivation is temporary. It's a temporary thing. So don't rely on motivation. Rely on habits. Know your why. Know what you're trying to achieve and know why you're trying to achieve it. And make sure you have the information so that you know that what you're doing is definitely going to get you to your goal. And then have that mental tool up your sleeve, like the 5-second rule, whereby you don't need motivation because you've just got a mental tool which can bypass the mind and kind of force you to do those things even when you don't want to, because you know they're the right things to do. If you want to find out a bit more, there's lots of stuff on my YouTube channel and on fitbodystrongmind.com. And of course, click the link below to have a look at the 80-20s of fitness, just to make sure that you're applying the actions which bring the biggest results. Thanks very much for watching.